Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay Dollinger, if you do not know me, and I'm broadcasting this in several places. So this is going to depend. Some of you know me very well because you are members of my team. So this is a training that I am doing for my team, Team Polished Princesses. We are Color Street stylists, and so I should also be live on my business page as well as my YouTube channel, and this will also be on my podcast tomorrow. So nothing like waiting till last minute, right? So I hope my sound quality is okay. Let me see. I'm going to move this microphone just a little bit closer. So I hope everyone is doing well. Team, feel free to leave your comments. I might not look at the comments until later, but okay. So this training is going to be all about treating your business like a business and not like a hobby. Okay. And so if you are doing this like it is a hobby, then you don't want to listen to this training. This training is literally going to be on how to be a business owner with a direct sales business, some tips and tricks and some things to make sure you're doing. But if you are just doing this for a hobby, again, this training probably not for you. But if you're still watching, and I wrote out like a whole list of notes here. So I'm going to be looking down if you were watching this on a video. But treating your business like a business. So the thing that I have always heard said is if you treat your business like a business, you will get business results. And if you treat your business like a hobby, then you're going to get hobby results. So to me, when I heard that for the first time, it was very like, oh my gosh, that makes total sense because I have been doing my business like I've been a hobby. I've been posting when I have time or when I remember and not really making a plan. So I'm going to go through, just some of my top things that I have gotten to work on and I still get to work on. But especially if you are newer and you're like, I feel like I'm doing all the things, but I'm not getting the results. I encourage you to look at this list of things and determine if you really are truly doing all of the things or not. So very first thing, and we've talked about this a lot, guys, is having a good daily routine, like a routine that works for you, that you get results out of, and having a self-care plan. So like for me, this means getting my workouts in, making sure that I'm getting the amount of sleep that I know my body needs, eating healthy, all of those sorts of things. I don't drink caffeine after, oh my gosh, I don't even know, like 1:00 in the afternoon because I know I can't sleep. And it has also been recently adding meditation in. So those are the things for me that help me feel like my best self so that I can even concentrate or focus to work my business. Scheduling my week out. This is something that I started doing probably about a year ago. And you guys know that I just launched my direct sales done right planner and tracker system. This is the planner and tracker. I printed it out, but I have it set up so that you can do fill-ins, like PDF fill-in, which is really awesome. But I'll show you a blank page. And if you're on the podcast, you can't actually, I will explain what people are saying. So I time block by hours. So I do an hourly time block, and I'm going to go through tonight when I get off this recording, and I'm going to block out at least the next 2 days. And additionally, my daily plan has areas of focus, people that I need to follow up with. And I don't just do this daily, I will do this weekly. So I'm going to jot down my top intentions for the week. I know I have my Slaycation Girl Boss retreat this weekend, so that gets to be my priority. A lot of that for the week, planning and making sure everything is set up for that, packing, etc. And then I also know that I have a goal to get some more parties booked. So I will be reaching out to people. I will be doing my follow-ups, and I will be getting my parties booked that I need to get booked. So I set intentions and I schedule my week out. If I don't schedule in my workouts, they don't happen. If I don't schedule in my team calls, they don't happen, right? I just don't remember to do those things. Like I literally just, when I was over at my dad's house tonight, I set a reminder on my phone to go over there Wednesday night because I have to go to his garden and pick some stuff for to get the vegetables for our Girl Boss retreat for part of our meals. So like if I don't set them as schedules, as reminders, then they just straight up don't happen. So schedule your week out and schedule in your time where you don't do anything. Like schedule in your free time. Okay. Schedule in your downtime as well. Schedule in your family time, schedule in bedtime. And I think when you start to really break it down by hour and an hour, like we all get the same amount of hours in a day. It just depends on how you use them. So be a smart business owner and use those hours wisely. And then your week's planned out, your month's planned out, whatever. But you have to communicate that with your family. I hear a lot from people that they have unsupportive spouses, or I live with my sister, so I have to communicate with her the events that I'm planning, my power hours. Like I'm going to be unable to hang out on Wednesday and Thursday nights because Wednesday, this like piece of hair that's like falling out of my brain. It's driving me crazy. And it didn't bother me until I was on this recording. But anyway, Wednesday nights we do team stuff. Thursday nights, I'm just going to take it down. Thursday nights, we have team power hours. So I have to communicate that, those are non-negotiables for me. And she knows that, and we communicate that. So make sure you communicate that because she knows my goal. She knows my goal is to be a top stylist in our company. And while I've already gotten really far in my business, I'm not stopping. Like I'm going all the way to the top. Our team is going all the way to the top. So she knows that. She knows that's my goal. So, she's on board. So communicate that with the people in your life, especially the people who you value their opinions the most. Okay. All right. So we got all that out of the way. Our next big thing that I have a ton written down in, and I just titled all of this professionalism. So as business owners and specifically as leaders, like we're leveling up, we are starting to have teams of people under us. I'm assuming if you're taking your business seriously, then you're growing it and you're sponsoring new stylists and everything else, or consultants if you're listening to this, not a Color Street person. So professionalism, what this is going to look like in your business. This is going to be providing excellent customer service. So, you are, if a customer is unhappy with their order, then you're going to take care of that for them. We submit tickets for the company I am in for our customer. So our customer, like we're like the liaison between the customer and the company. If that happens, that very, very rarely happens, but if it happens, we get it done and we do it immediately. Prompt, courteous replies. So things can really easily be misconstrued, especially in written text. So, I like to add in emojis when I can, like a smiley face or whatever. But the prompt part, so within 24 hours, you're getting a response back. But, if people can see you're online and you're posting other crap, like you should be responding to your customers. Okay. Same thing with your teammates, whatever. And make things right. So, that's just overall in your business. In your groups. So, Color Street, we have VIP groups where our customers hang out. Every company does their style a little bit differently. Here's some tips for in your groups for treating your business like a business. Stop over posting. Oh my gosh. I'm like, sometimes I'm scrolling through my newsfeed and I see like 10 in a row posts from the same person in their group over, like, no, you should have 10 posts in a week. Okay. So stop over posting. This is like a huge, huge thing. I was 1 to 3 times in your group max a day. The only difference of this would be, so in Color Street, we do like girls' night in nights where we post like this or that pictures and we do some like games. Those should be once a week if you're doing them. And watch when you're doing them. I've seen so many people posting and running those girls' night ins at like 10 in the morning. Guys, unless you know your audience and unless you know your audience is online at 10 in the morning, I can tell you right now, my audience is not online at 10 in the morning, especially now that we are back in school, right? Most of my ideal customers that I'm trying to attract are teachers, and we're not checking Facebook at 10 a.m., especially not to play games or to interact in all the posts. So really think about that. I really encourage you guys to do those in the evening, anywhere between 7 and 9. 7 and 9, because if you get before that, you're competing with dinner. If you get after that, people are going to bed. Okay, so 7 to 9 seems to be a pretty good sweet spot. Remember, you can check your Facebook group analytics as soon as you have 51 people or more in your group. So stop over posting, stop posting at weird times. And this is a really big one. Do not copy text, so like a post from someone else. Just don't do it. You can take bits and pieces of it. You can take the idea of it and make it your own words. But if you are copy and pasting someone else's posts, one, the algorithm hates that. It's going to just shoot it down. No one's going to see it. That's what that means. And two, it's kind of disrespectful. So don't take other people's posts. And you want it to be your personality anyway, because if you're posting stuff and it doesn't sound like you, you're going to either really confuse your customers, or they're going to really like the person that they think you are, that you're posting like. Okay. Customer emails. Companies and businesses email their customers. So if you are not emailing your customers, you are really missing out on showing yourself and presenting yourself as a true, authentic business, and also reaching all of those people who, one, aren't seeing your notifications, because let's be real, the Facebook algorithm right now is all kinds of crazy. And two, most of sales transactions are not happening on social media, right? They're happening in your inbox. So make sure you are emailing your customers. You should be emailing them if you're a Color Street person or any other really company, anytime you have a big launch. Okay, so if your company is something that you have new stuff like, every 2 days, probably don't email your customers every 2 days. But, my Color Street customers are getting an email every single launch that we have. They're also getting random emails that have nothing to do with business, but, maybe it's an inspirational quote, but it's something to do with my brand. And it's something that I want to show them that we, or rather, I want to show them like who I am, so we can build like a stronger relationship, if that makes sense. So that they know like I'm a real person and I love Disney and I love this and, all those things. Let's see. And for those emails that you are going to send, guys, that, like I said, are not business related, it's totally cool to have links to your VIP group, to order, to join your team, etc. at the bottom of all those. Like, I don't mean to leave all that stuff out. Definitely still include that in emails. Team chats. All right, this is a fun one. Fun fact about me, if you do not know, I despise group chats with a passion. Like, I don't know what it is. I've always been this way. I do not like group texts. I don't like, basically because I feel like people abuse them. And that, to me, a group chat, like text messages with my friends or anything, is like not a place to like hang out. It's a place to get information. This is very like my business brain, like my like no nonsense brain. So I think group chats or team chats should be a place. It shouldn't be a place that as leaders we are using to get like the lazy way out of checking in on our team. You should still be checking in with every single consultant, teammate, whatever you guys call them in your company. We call them stylists and Color Street. You should be checking in with every single person one-on-one at least once a month. And if necessary, more than that. But if my stylists have it going on, if they've been in the business for a while, if I don't think they're having issues and I did my monthly check-in, I'm not going to keep messaging them about things. Okay. I think actions speak louder than words, and the people who want the help, the people who want to run with your business, the people who are treating it seriously, you're going to see them showing up. You're going to see them on your team meetings. You're going to see them in the team power hours. You're going to see them, showing up on social. And so that'll be your way to know that you don't really need to check in. Does that make sense? So, going back to the chats. So I like to make it I want to say the word boundary. I don't know if it's quite the right word, but, kind of set a boundary in our team chats. Like I use my team chat with my downline. I let them know of any special incentive that I'm offering for that month. If I do one, I don't always. And if I want to make sure like, okay, I just heard that our breast cancer strips launched and they're up on the site. So I will send a super quick message in that chat and I'll say, sets are live. But other than that, if someone has a problem, if someone has a question, I would prefer that they message me or message someone one-on-one. I don't necessarily think group chats are the place for that. I do think there is value if everyone is on board and doing some sort of, brainstorming or whatnot from time to time. But I do think group chats can be really, really overwhelming for a lot of people. That brings me on to my next point, I do believe, is use your resources before you ask. And so I think we've done a really great job in our team of doing this, but we really encourage our stylists to use the search bar. We have pretty much everything that you can imagine answered for you and already created for you in any one of our multiple team groups. So for like Color Street specifically, I'm talking to my team right now. We have Team Nailed It, Nail Vibes, Team Real Deal, Team Polished and Pretty, and then our team page. That's 5 team pages. And actually, I didn't even mention Rainmakers, which is all the way up in the top, Rainmakers training. So we have 16 pages that literally, if you go in that search bar, you could type in anything you wanted to know, policies and procedures, parties, vendor events, hostess rewards, and scroll down through there. Take a little bit of ownership and a little bit of control over finding out these ideas and looking through those. So you guys know my story. When I joined Color Street, my upline quit after I don't know, maybe a month or two. So I went in all the team pages, and that's what I used to answer my questions to build my business. There's so much value in those pages that we take for granted, we forget about. And, when I am cleaning the house or I'm doing something, I'll go to those team pages and I'll type in recruiting or sponsoring, because people can call it different things, or new customers or party ideas. And we'll listen to different videos and different trainings that have been done. And I'm sure, hopefully, if you are listening to this on the podcast, that you're involved in a company who has a team structure like that also provides you with those resources. Speaking again to Color Street specific stylists, we have an app, we have our back office. I'm pretty sure every company out there has a back office that has resources in it. So use them wisely. That's part of the professionalism. That's part of taking ownership for your business and not treating it as a hobby. Okay. And then if you look through everything and you really can't find anything, that's when you reach out to your upline. Hey, I can't find XYZ. Using resources wisely. Kind of going back to chats, kind of going back to customers. It's okay to not respond to people immediately as well. Just keep that in mind. We like to say there's no such thing as a nail polish emergency. So I don't know what company you're on if you're listening to this on their podcast, but I would assume that's the same for most people. There's no such thing as a clothing emergency. There's no such, I guess you could, have like a situation, but you know what I mean? So it's okay to not respond immediately. And especially as you're building your business and as you are developing as a leader, I encourage you not to respond immediately to things, because if you immediately respond all the time, it is setting a precedent that is how you are always going to handle situations. And then when you're having a day where you're like, hey, it's Saturday, I don't want to talk Color Street today, and your team is messaging you about stuff that is not a nail polish emergency, they're going to expect you to return it immediately, because you normally do. So just keep in mind, it's okay to not respond to everything right away. Same thing with drawing prizes for incentives and such. I try to do them right away just because I know I will forget, but you don't owe that to anyone. You're not telling anyone that I'm getting some XYZ out to you in the next 24 hours, right? So do what you can. Because most people, if you're listening to this, you're probably also working a full-time job like I am working. And it's a lot. It can be a lot to juggle, especially if you're not doing all of these things, if you're not treating it like a business and expecting business results at the same time. Along with, those clear expectations of like, I'm not going to respond necessarily to you immediately. This is a little bit more directly to my team, but for, if you're an admin of a group, it's okay to not immediately approve a post in a team page as well. So like, especially if it's not quote unquote, like your team page that you're in charge of, if that makes sense, take a second, stop. Should I approve this post right now? And if I'm not paying attention and I am like blindly, because I've done this, guys, I have been not paying attention and just clicked approve on posts. And that is totally the opposite reason of why we have post approval on, right? We have post approval on so that we can read it and digest and then decide if it is something that is valuable to our group to post in our group. So I've done this on my VIP space. I've done this in our team page. So take a second. It's okay. We can wait. We can improve posts when we have a minute. Again, there's no such thing as a recognition that needs done right this second or, whatever. So take a second and look at those. And that should be one of these things in general as well, too. Just like slow down. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to take a breath. It's okay to do things well. We always say done is better than perfect, and I totally agree with that, but we don't have to be rushed all the time. Sorry guys, I was trying to look at my camera and I got off my spot down here. And then the last thing with using our resources, do not take your own time to recreate the wheel. If you are like, I feel like I need my own team group. Okay, that's fine. But just know that your leaders who are putting in their time and their energy into creating awesome team groups, that's just one example, or a new hostess template or a new spreadsheet to organize things. Like all of that is fine and great if you have the time for it. But if it's just something that you're doing because you love creating, which I'm a creator, so I'm allowed to say this, if it's just something you're doing because you love creating or you're putting off the things that are actually going to move your business forward, like talking to more people, getting samples in the mail, booking parties, those are things that are actually going to get you money and move your business forward. But, recreating the wheel is not going to do that. So I encourage you, don't recreate the wheel. Use what's already given. And that's going to help you up your business. I mean, you're going to have so much more time working in your business, not on your business. Show up. Show up. As a leader, I think we have about 100 women on my team now. I can 100% tell you who is going to be successful and who is actually going to rank advance and who is actually going to XYZ. I can tell you that. I can tell you that about pretty much every single person in my team. One, because this isn't my first rodeo. I've been around the block. But two, I see how people show up. I see the women who are on every single power hour that we have as a team. I see the women who are in our push group showing up to our masterminds every single Wednesday. I see the back office numbers. I see the women who are hitting our bonus qualifying by the 10th. I see the women who are booking parties because I see some of them talking about it in some of the chats. I see the women who are offering value to other people. And that's success. I mean, that's what it is. So if you want it, you got to show up. You have to make those little sacrifices. Would I rather be watching Hocus Pocus right now, eating popcorn? Probably. I mean, I really enjoy doing this. So like, I'm not going to hate on doing a podcast or doing a training for my team. But I also make those sacrifices, right? Like I'm not going out like what's it called? The Bachelorette starts, I think it's next Wednesday. I'm not moving my calls with my team because I want to watch The Bachelorette, even though I'm obsessed with The Bachelorette. Um, it's just you make sacrifices for things. So while I'm not able, like I'm missing our power hour at the end of the month, I have parent teacher conferences. That's something for my full-time job that I can't get out of. But as far as skipping a team power hour so I can watch a TV show or I don't know what else people do in the evenings. That's the only example I can think of. Get my Peloton ride in because I didn't get it in. It's not going to happen because I'm taking my business seriously. I want to get to the next level. I want to help my team grow. And by me showing up is literally the only way that our team is going to grow, right? Because the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. So if you're trying to be a leader of your team, but yet you are not showing up for anything, that speaks volumes. Like you can say you're working till you're blue in the face, but if you're not showing up at team things, it says something. One more thing with our team groups. I just have like 2 more points, I think, total. So we're almost done. This is good. This will be about 30 minutes. While you're in team groups, because we're working this as a business and not a hobby, I encourage you not to get caught up in any sort of drama or negativity. And especially don't be the person to start it. So, if someone makes a post, like I just did bonus qualify by the 10th, which was yesterday. And, if you don't bonus qualify, then maybe don't comment on that post. That post is like for people who bonus qualified. So if you're struggling and this wasn't your month, maybe we need to rethink that thinking, and okay, it's okay. I didn't hit it by the 10th. I have 20 more days. I'm going to reach out to my sponsor. I'm going to be proactive and type in the search bar in this group, bonus qualify, because I'm sure there are ideas, because I know for a fact, I personally, now I'm talking not third person anymore, but I know for a fact, I personally have posted in there, ways to bonus qualify. I think we have like 15 or 20 ways to bonus qualify in 24 hours. So, if we're not putting in the time or the energy, or we're not making it a priority, then I don't really think anyone has the what's the word? I'm tired. Can you tell I'm tired? I don't know that anyone has the opportunity or the right, that's the word, the right to complain about that. So keep the complaining and negativity out of it. Shouldn't be in any team space, team chat, team group, etc. Business owners don't do that, or at least successful business owners don't do that. So let me see if I can't see comments in my team group. That's really strange. But business owners aren't going to complain, or, public, or what's the word? Successful business owners are definitely not going to complain. And, level up. This is our wrapping up, but level up. If you have something that you can help the team with, even if it's something that you're like, okay, I kind of do this well, girl, reach out to me, reach out to your closest team leader and say, hey, I would like to, I'd like to do a team training. I would like to tell the team how I'm using whatever. We just had Joy come live and she gave some really amazing tips for getting a party booking from a party. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of doing any of those things. Those are all so smart. You never know what people haven't heard. And even if they've heard it, guys, I've said everything in this training tonight a million times in this team space, depending on how long you've been here. But I've said it all a million times. And for some people, this is going to be the first time they listened, or the first time they heard something, or the first time something stood out to them. So, level up, be a leader. If you want to be a leader, if you want to have a super successful business, step into that role now, as though those things are already there, as though you already have a giant team, as though you're already making XYZ money that you want to be making, as though you were already that rank. And we talked about this in my up level podcast, I think maybe episode 4 or 5, I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you step into that as though you are already those things and start training, start doing those things that those leaders would do, it's a huge mindset shift, which I should have talked about that, but I feel like I talk about that all the time too. And still people don't do it. But, personal development, start your day, put that as part of your daily routine. But listen to some positive things that pump you up, that give you positive energy. It's not necessarily always business development, right? Personal development is different than business development. And the very last thing, is that if you are really ready to treat your business like a business, then you need to reach out to your upline for coaching, to bounce ideas off of them, for, support, for accountability, for a check-in. Find an accountability partner to do all those things with as well. If your upline isn't, maybe doesn't have the time to do that, if, they have a giant team. But here's the thing about that. Only reach out that you're wanting to go to the next level if you are actually ready to do the things, if you're ready to create massive action. Don't take people's time, an accountability person's time, your upline's time, the people in your group chat's time, if you're not willing to actually listen to what people are saying. Let that sink in for a second. Because again, we all have the same amount of time in a day, guys. We all have the same amount of time. And so it's really unfair for us to think like, oh, I'm just going to chat with so-and-so for half an hour about my business, and then I'm not going to do anything about it, right? If people are willing to give you that amount of time, they're willing to give you that amount of time because they believe in you, that they think you're coachable, but you have to do something with it too. So as business owners, we have the opportunity. Literally, we can do whatever we want with our business. It can be as big, it can be as small. It can be as niched down. Literally, like, it is just, there are so many opportunities of things that you can do with your business if you treat it like a business. If you want to work it as a hobby, that's totally fine. Totally fine. But don't expect to 3 years in have grown your business. Like, if you work it as a hobby, it's going to stay the same. You can't expect to sponsor people. You can't expect your sales to go up. If anything, if you're only working as a hobby, I would say it's going to maintain, and at some point it will drop down if you are not doing some of the things and starting to treat your business like a business. So I hope those ideas were helpful. I know this was a little more tough love type training than I normally do. But I'm just putting it all out there because I know this is the way I like to learn. These are the tips that I would have liked to have gotten. This is the type of recording that I would have watched a couple times and taken some notes and really started to take a good hard look at my business. Where am I doing these things? Am I doing these things? Oh no, how am I showing up in our team page? How am I showing up in my team chats? How am I showing up to my customers? How am I showing up on my social media profile? What's my presence like? What's my energy like? And if it's time to make a shift, it's time to make a shift. There's nothing wrong with the way you've been doing things, but it's just time to up level. If you're wanting to treat your business like a business, it's time to up level. So I hope that this training was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you are listening on the podcast, please subscribe, leave a rating and review, and definitely take a screenshot of the podcast, like cover art, share it in your Instagram or Facebook stories, and I will reshare you. Also, guys, check out my website, lindsaydollinger.com. My team, you guys all already got the copy. You guys already got direct sales done right planner and tracker. But if you are not on my team, you have not received this. And like I said, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's pretty amazing. I'm getting ready to, as soon as I get off of here, plan out my week in it. it's nice. I can take it anywhere with me. And, I know what I always need to be doing. I know the people I'm going to be following up with. I know the people I'm going to invite. I know my self-care habits. I know the 3 things I'm grateful for today. And I always write 3 different things because we are so blessed that you should never have to repeat anything. And my top 3 areas of focus for the day. And I'm going to jot everything out hour by hour. And this is how I'm going to be successful. Okay, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you're listening as a podcast, this drops on a Monday morning. So great rest of your Monday. But I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.